Alright, what's up, guys? Y'all know what today is. It's Monday. Well, depending on when you watch this video, it could be like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, or something like that. In today's video, I'm going to show you a DeFi strategy called Shortitrage. When you'd want to deploy this strategy is if you see a token that just massively gigapumps and you just want to be like, bro, I want to short that coin. The chart I'm showing you right now is Polygon. I am not telling anyone to short this coin. All I'm explaining to you is if you see a coin that goes from 90 cents to $1.30 in a bear market, especially if it's like a farming coin, well, deploying a shorting strategy could be a good idea. Now, this is not always the case because crypto, especially if you short it, it tends to gigapump. Now, if you wanted to short a token, you can do this on Binance, FTX, KuCoin, or any of the other exchanges, but you can also just use something like a decentralized perpetual exchange. But what's interesting to note is all these different exchanges, they do offer these opportunities and abilities to short in a leveraged position, but you have to pay to be in that position. And sometimes these funding rates are extremely high, and there is a high risk of liquidation. So today's strategy is specifically going to be based with DeFi. It's also going to hedge your position so that way if the markets are volatile or if that short doesn't work out, you'll be able to somewhat navigate the rough waters. And on top of this, you'll be getting paid in the position. I'm going to be using a test net with some real fake money. I'm just going to request some funds from these different faucets. I like to do this every day because this money is actually not money. We're just going to go ahead and use the test net to show you guys how this works. We're going to be using a mix of Aave and Uniswap to deploy this strategy. Now, the only thing to note with this strategy is that we're on the Goleri testnet. They don't have Polygon on here. So instead of deploying the strategy for Polygon, we're just going to act like Ethereum is Polygon. And we're going to show you guys how to short Ethereum with the Shortitrage strategy. Again, I don't recommend shorting in crypto because you can get completely and utterly wrecked, but we're just going to show you how this works. You guys can also check out the full Twitter thread I made if you guys want to check that out. I'll put a link in the description below. I'll probably forget to do it, so I'm sorry. Just leave it in the comments and I'll remember to do that. So step number one, let's go ahead and short this bugger. The first thing we got to do is supply some stablecoins. You can also do any of the other assets. It just can't be the asset that you're shorting. So if you're going to be shorting some Polygon tokens, it's probably not in your best interest to supply Matic tokens and borrow against it. It's just not capital efficient, especially when you're lending out a lot of these tokens as collateral. You want to use the collateral types that are the most capital efficient. I'll show you guys a breakdown of each of that in each of the different tokens like USDC and Ethereum, Bitcoin. Those are pretty capital efficient. On Aave, you can get like a 75 to 85% loan to value. So this is how you can see the loan to value or the capital efficiency of each asset. You got DAI, USDC, Tether, Aave, whatever. All you do is you click the details. When I click on the details, it says, hey, my maximum loan to value is 75%. What this means is if I lend out $1,000, the most amount, $1,000 worth of collateral, the most I can borrow is $750 worth of any of the assets on the borrow side. That's what the max loan to value means. Now, you have to be careful with this because once it hits 80%, this is when I can get liquidated and a portion of it goes away. What liquidation means is that game over, you lose money. So that's not cool. You never want to hit that position. But anyways, that's how you find the loan to value. You click on any of the assets, you click details, and it says, hey, this is your max loan to value. You probably don't want to do something like Link. I think Link's got, no, it's 70%. That's not too bad. But you don't want to do something that's like 45%. That's just not capital efficient at all, unless it's just something you have major bags of and you just don't care. The money's just sitting there doing nothing. Anyways, back to the strategy. We lent out 10,000 USDC. Now we're going to go ahead and short ETH. Now we're going to consider this like it's Polygon because it basically just gigapumped. So pretend this is the Matic token. So we're going to borrow 1 Ethereum. Now, notice how, well, we don't want to do 2. We're going to get liquidated. we're going to do 1 Ethereum. Notice how the liquidation factor automatically goes from infinite to 2.12. This means that once that collateral factor hits 1, that's when I'm going to be liquidated. So I need to make sure I monitor that for this strategy. I'm going to go ahead and skip forward to this while I go ahead and borrow this. It's a little bit slow, so we'll see you in a second. Okay, so apparently the testnet is like with real fake money is junk. So instead, I went ahead and showed you guys how to make this position with real money. So what I did is I put up some ETH, I put up some DAI, and the euro, it can't be used as collateral, but just threw it in there, whatever. So basically my health factor is 1.7. I took out a position of 4,700 Matic tokens. This means my debt is denominated in Matic. Right now, I'm paying them 4.13% to be in this position. In order to hedge this position, what I would need to do is earn a yield that is higher than this at the same time shorting it. The reason why I have some additional stablecoins in this is because I borrowed 4,700 Matic tokens, I sold some of it for stables, and then I hedged some of it in a LP position. I still have exposure to Matic, so if Matic goes gigapump, I still have some exposure to it, and I was able to take on the short, but I was able to limit the losses. Now, if Matic giga dumps, well, that's what I was playing the strategy for. That's why I have the stable coins, so I'll buy back the Matic tokens cheaper. So right now, the number you need to focus on is my debt of 4,702 Matic tokens. This is where I now need to take my newly borrowed Matic tokens and find out where to get a yield on them. Uniswap pays some pretty good rates, and as you can see here on the Matic token, they range from 377% APY and down. I decided to go ahead and go with one of the stablecoin pairs because remember, I'm taking a hedged short position. So I want to go with something that is somewhat of a stable collateral, which in this case, it would be a stablecoin. And as you can see here, it's going to be paying me 222% APY just for being in this position. So effectively with this position, I've done 2 things. The first, I was able to deploy my short position. Second, I was able to turn it to, instead of paying to be in a position, I am now being paid to be in the position, which in this case, time is on my side. So I want the Polygon token to go sideways. The reason I want it to go sideways is because my debt will slowly get paid down because I'm accumulating a yield on Uniswap at a 222% APY. So this means at the end of the year, if I originally deposited in there and the Polygon token stays at the same price, I will still have my original deposit plus the 222% APY. So I'll easily be able to repay my debt, get some profits, and I'll have my principal back. So it's a win-win-win situation, as long as Polygon doesn't gigapump. I'll talk about the scenarios later in this video, but just so you can understand, I'm taking on this position so I can go ahead and hedge it. So let's go ahead and go over to Uniswap. So on Uniswap, this is where you would pool the tokens. I need to go on Polygon because we're doing Polygon. Of those 4,700 Matic tokens, I would sell a portion into stables for my quote unquote short, or you can just go straight out and say, hey, I just want to do 50-50 half. You can do that as well. The more stables and the more Polygon token you throw into the LP pool, the more it's going to be hedged. If you are taking some stables out, that means you're effectively shorting the position, so it has less of a hedge. So in this case, if I had the 4,700 Matic, I would sell 50% of them, which would be 2,350 Matic tokens. I would sell these for stable coins. Make sure when you're LPing, you don't LP all of your Matic tokens because that would be your gas, but whatever. So after you get your stable coins, you would then come over and pair the Matic token with USDC, and you figure out your range. If you want to go the full range, you can simply do that, but it's probably going to be better to do a concentrated range. That way you earn more fees. Now, when I say concentrated, I don't mean 1.2 to 1.3 dollars worth of, no, Matic is pretty volatile. So I would say maybe your take profit point, which on the short, let's say it would be 75 cents on the Matic token. I would say minimum price to 0.75. Now, the maximum price, let's say, oh, dude, I feel like this thing could gigapump. I don't know. I want to be on the safe side and don't want to have crazy and permanent loss, let's do $4. It hasn't reached $4 yet. Time will tell. I mean, it's currently at a $11 billion market cap. Doing a 4x about, well, no, that would be about $5. But doing like a 3.5x, see like a $35, $40 billion market cap for a Matic token in a bear market? Some people do, some people don't, whatever. I'm just explaining it to you so you guys can make your own decisions. So you would LP and pair it here. Once you do this, you're set up to earn this yield. Now, it's not going to be exactly 222%. This does vary from time to time. Sometimes it's higher, sometimes it's lower, and you can see all that displayed here. So let's summarize what this strategy has done. As you can see here in this Twitter thread, it says, with this strategy, first, if Matic token goes down, you win. Why? Because you threw some of the Matic token into stablecoins. You basically shorted the token because your debt is denominated in Matic. So if you borrow 1,000 Matic tokens at $1 a piece, that means your debt is $1,000. But if Matic goes to 50 cents and you borrowed 1,000 Matic tokens, that means your debt is now $500. So you basically made $500 for shorting it. Now you do have impermanent loss, so make sure you play around with a little bit of fun so you can understand how it works, or use some tools like on the flip side crypto just to understand how it works, or you can check out some of the previous videos I made on impermanent loss. The second situation is if Matic stays the same price. This is a win-win, especially if it does it for the full year, 6 months, 2 years, 3 years, whatever. I don't care because I'm earning a constant APY. My debt that I'm having to pay out to hold this position is 4.16%. What I'm earning, as long as the APYs stay at the same rate, is around 222%. 4 minus 222, profiting 218. I think it works. Now third, if the Matic token goes up a bit, you still win. Sure, you have some impermanent loss, but depending on how long it takes to go up to that position, you still win because you're earning a yield on Uniswap. The only time you will really lose is if Matic gigapumps. Then you're going to lose a bit. Remember, you hedged your position, so you still have some exposure to Matic. So if you feel uncomfortable, you can't sleep at night, you can always pull out, sell the other half of your LP into the Matic token, repay your debt, and call it a day. Sometimes in crypto, especially if you short, you do lose pretty hard, so you have to be careful with this and understand the risks. Remember with shorting, especially in crypto, the most you can ever make is when that asset goes to zero. You can't make any more than that. However, it can go to infinity, which means you can have infinite losses if you keep throwing money at it. Of course, using something like Aave, you'll just get liquidated at that point, but this is just something to understand. Anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this strategy of Shortitrage. You guys can check out the thread on Twitter if you guys wanted the written form. And if this didn't make any sense with you guys, try it with a little bit of funds, see how it works. It'll start to make sense as you're throwing a little bit here and there and borrowing, LPing, and trying these different positions. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Tell me what you guys think of this strategy in the comments below. What is your favorite strategy? What are you deploying in the markets right now? And if you guys want to jump in the Discord, there's a link in the description below. I basically tell you what I'm doing in the markets, and I'm a lot more active in Discord than I am on YouTube or any other social media platform. Anyways, Proverbs chapter 12, verses 12. The wicked desire the stronghold of evildoers, but the root of the righteous endures. Be good, be nice. See ya.